This man has uploaded thousands of videos to prove a single bizarre theory, that the creators of classic movies were secretly predicting the future. His evidence?
To the name of actor Jim Carrey. You can see this by what's visualized on screen. So the townsfolk of Whoville are carrying the great Christmas tree.
So who is this psychic? What's his logic? And do any of his claims have any weight to them? Or are they all huge stretches? I first came across this channel by the algorithm. This psychic claims that creators of past media have knowledge of the future, and a few innocuous creative decisions can actually end up being prophecies. This is Easteregg Psychic. He has 1,500 videos, but the first video I saw on his channel was him making the claim that the 1966 adaptation of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, where he claimed the following. The Grinch has a connection to fucking Batman.
His role in this, I think if you were looking out, you might have been able to realize that the Grinch had some connection to the DC comic book superhero Batman around 1989.
He doesn't immediately deliberate on this point. There's a lot of rambling and ranting in his videos. I guess the main link is that Boris Karloff acted in many horror movies and he narrated The Grinch. And while Easteregg Psychic doesn't deliberate on this point at all, the Batman villain Clayface is an homage to Boris Karloff himself. The 1966 Grinch movie predicts the creation of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Alright, so Sonic references in How the Grinch Stole Christmas 1966. At 11 minutes 32 seconds, there may be a great visual similarity to Sonic. Players of the early games will remember the loops that Sonic runs through. You can see here in this cartoon from 25 years previous where the Grinch is on the sled being pulled by his dog Max, and he goes into a very similar vertical loop.
He makes this connection through Jim Carrey, who played the Grinch in the 2002 adaptation of the classic Christmas Tale, linking his work on the Sonic the Hedgehog movie trilogy to this. He also notes that there's this point in the Grinch movie where it looks like he goes up a hill that looks like half of a loop-de-loop. And as you saw in the intro, he believes that this scene where the Whos are carrying the Christmas tree is a reference to Jim Carrey's name. And finally, the 1966 Grinch movie predicts the Dreamcast. His point for this is that the Grinch rolls up a piece of carpet and it's orange, and when he throws it up the chimney, it looks like the Dreamcast logo.
Presents and decorations in what looks like a rug or a blanket, and he chucks this up the chimney. Check out the pattern of the roll. It looks almost identical to Sega's swirl logo for the Dreamcast.
So you probably noticed by now his logic for most of these are kind of shaky, often relying on Wikipedia game logic. In case you don't know, the Wikipedia game is a game where you try to get to a certain Wikipedia page from a random page by clicking on as few links as possible. He often just finds one actor and connects to franchises or movies they were in, then finds something innocuous that could literally be nothing. Another example is this.
You can see what looks like a fire engine at the base of a Christmas tree. And I thought this may be a future reference to Jim Carrey's in living color character, Fire Marshal Bill.
At least with most future prediction media or theories, they often make a case that could just be one huge coincidence, but you can see the point. But his channel basically specializes in mental gymnastics. For example, the 1980s Mario movie is said to have predicted 9/11 because in that movie, the Twin Towers get destroyed. That makes sense. It's a direct reference from an event in a movie to an event in real life. However, this is like saying Toy Story 1 predicted small soldiers because R. Lee Ermey played a soldier-like character in both movies, ignoring that R. Lee Ermey has been brought onto many other roles in many other movies that require a drill sergeant or stereotypical soldier-like character. Hi, hey everyone, it's me, editing Papa B. So, I was doing research at the same time as editing this video to double check my facts, and it turns out R. Lee Ermey was not in Small Soldiers, apparently, even though I swear to God I thought he was. I tried to reach out to this YouTuber through email, but got no response. I wanted to know if this was just some elaborate inside joke, or if he was actually serious about his observations. So, with little to no input from the man himself, I was left with only the assumption that he was genuine about this bizarre channel concept. So I did a little bit more research. I looked to see if there were any other platforms he may upload to, finding that he had a TikTok. The TikTok algorithm barely picks up his videos, possibly because he still uploads them with the same ratio as his YouTube and Dailymotion accounts. And he doesn't cut them down at all. They're all still like 2-3 minutes long. And if you know anything about TikTok or Instagram Reels, you know that those platforms specialize in short form content. He does seem to upload consistently though, almost every single day with a few hiccups here and there. With that being said, what do you guys think? Do you think this channel is just some elaborate inside joke, a legitimate psychic, or a small channel making weird content just for the love of the game? Thank you for watching, hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next video.